Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. This is the Gatekeepers Musically Speaking Podcast, gkmsp, Season 2, Episode 8, premiering air Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's your boy, Verbal Vayne in the vicinity, Mary in a moment, and Shaman in a sector. Woo-hoo! If you're new to this channel, do a drive-by shootout on that subscribe button. You can't miss it, and click in the bell for notifications. Yes, check out our previous podcast to comment and join the conversation. GKMSP brought to you by M-Week Creatives, men with ideas.
Nini unasema hiyo kitu design. You need to say it correctly.
Mimi naisema vile mimi naiona hapa hivyo. So that's why I've said men with ideas creative in case somebody needs to say it in another how you say lingua.
The shortened version is MWIC.
Okay, there you have it, guys.
Funny thing is I had is it Wazungus? I can't pronounce MW combined in one word.
Easy.
Yeah. So
check out the soundbite from Shaman. What have we been doing this week, man?
Of course, Mari gets to go first. Let's not repeat. Obvious, Mari go first. Last time nilikuachia ufikirie, hakuna kitu ya maana ulifikiria. So let's not waste time.
Okay, so this time I don't even need to think. We've been let me start with what we were doing with Shaman within the week. We were trying to organize a photo shoot and get promo material for a new single that's coming out. We're working on, and so you should be expecting something new along the way. And also I've been also working with some other artists. I don't know if you guys know Thomas Hype.
Nah.
Oh yeah, he's a rapper, one of the rappers we worked with. He's releasing his album coming soon, so we've been working towards that. I think that's about been my week, musically speaking.
Now what Mari forgot to mention was that we are trying to find solace with Kral Studios. It's a photographer studio called Kral. Wako pale Kilimani. They're doing some amazing stuff. So we sit down with this guy and he tells Mari about the pricing and the concepts. Before we got to the pricing, we sat there with Mari and this guy gave us the concept of what he thinks he's going to do with the idea we have. I was ready to go the moment I heard about the pricing, but the thought process for this guy is amazing, man.
Oh man,
Mari, mbona usemi ukweli? Sema ukweli.
Okay, since you brought it up, man, like the concept, I like the way the depth we went into analyzing and bringing the concept to life. Like the kind of what I really appreciated with the way they work is the kind of research he had done into the work process. Like, we came up with an idea, and while we were discussing the idea, he was bringing up should I say inspirations from which we can borrow from. And he went into so much detail, which was really impressive. And I think a lot of from a lot of the interactions I've had in the industry, not too many people take that much, do that much work, or get into that much detail in their kind of work.
Funny thing is, he sent a text message saying that he thinks he has figured out the mood board, for the photo, the mood for the photo. And some of these terms, I don't know, maybe they're just blown out of context, but my guy, if you're told the photo has a mood, I don't want to come, your price need 22,500 for the session. You don't know when to leave, because this guy has so much.
So some people almost collapsed in there.
Meeting ikatokezea. Unajua anyway, the week was very eventful. You've had trying to do the photo shoot with Mari and trying to solicit from sponsorship. You know the pod needs sponsors and apparently Juke is too busy. Sasa Juke anafanya he's working with Delios. Labda tuambie what he's been doing. Perhaps he was free this week na tuna habari.
This week hakuna. This week it's a lot of like, maintaining the retainers as usual. Kwa sababu, trying to cut out, all these small time jobs because this month October ni month ya animation. So a lot of stuff has to come out. Like also like the kids show called, now it's official, it's called Mountain City. So hopefully even hata nadhani itakuwa ikitokea YouTube at the earliest because it's just like a educational program. So in order for it to pick up track, itakuwa ikitokea soon and you guys are gonna check it out.
I'm very jealous because Juke, you remember I told you an idea we had when we sat down, Mari and some other guy, I think some partners some directors from MTA were discussing an animation and we came here and we're really excited.
Nakumbuka ilikuwa hiyo competition ya Cartoon Network, man.
Yeah, it was during that time. But we had an idea.
Yeah. Dafrao.
It was after Dafrao actually. It was after Dafrao. Way after Dafrao. Yeah. We didn't even have a name for it.
Dafrao. What's that?
Hey, Mari, bana. Dafrao is another animation concept that Juke was doing at the time.
Yeah.
Some time back, he had an idea called Dafrao and he wanted to animate it. And I don't know. JJ was supposed to be part of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one JJ.
Yeah. That you can even, but what I can remember is even at that time money was kidogo. So these concepts and these ideas you could only come up with them like on the weekend, and even there was a deadline for Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
So the only difference like for this Mountain City is for kids, so it should be like super simple. They don't have to stress about the script or the storyboard, which things like Ben 10, the Dafraus, they really need a lot of sitting down and really putting down a storyline, sequences, short scenes, characters. But like for Mountain Cities for kids, 1, 2, 3, ABC. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, maybe just to also give a shout out here. We're talking about depth in concepts, and I think like the kind of work Delios does is just amazing. I mean, look at our posters, man.
Amazing stuff.
By the way, we've been getting a lot of feedback on the posters, like how amazing the kind of concepts that goes into it, and we must commend what is good,
guys, if you need any project you need to be done, like if you really want to do like a proper album, a proper music video, a proper shoot, us when you sit down with Delios, we won't just give you the price. We have to figure out how we can make you unique, how we can make you stand out. That is our main priority.
You guys have already jumped into the element of the podcast today.
Was that?
Yeah. Was that it? We're supposed to be inafaa kwa huko ndani bana. Moderator kwa.
Me am marketing Delios.
Ni kama should we be saying refa?
Bana.
Have you guys seen?
Me I'm just asking guys. This is the place. These are the guys to work with. Delios are the guys to work with.
For sure.
Mari said a very interesting thing back there, the kind of work Delios does.
Yeah.
He needs to be a little bit honest,
Because
giving credit alone to one side and leaving the other side out. Of course, I'm needy. Yes. But the quality of the podcast itself is amazing.
Wagwan.
No, you are.
I'm not looking for work. We're not looking for work. Delios gets to take all the work, but I just want to be recognized. Just say for mixing and mastering of the podcast is on point.
You should wait for when we're discussing that topic. Why are you bringing irrelevant topics?
Why do I have to be reduced to a topic? Why am I a topic? Why is the work I do a topic?
I think verbal. I think we should just give him this one.
It's okay. Delios takes me there.
Yeah.
The images are crazy. And maybe Mambo, you can tell us about what we're doing today, because I know Mari's eager to talk about it. I'm eager to talk about it. He's eager to say something about it.
Yeah, professionalism, branding, and keeping it within the family. Who would like to expound on
I
that?
want to go first.
Yeah.
I want to spread some love. I want to educate my fellow people. I want to enlighten some people. Not because I think I know it all. No. It's because I think I know a lot. Now, just being honest here. So
Sure.
I'm thinking, when we first got independence, for example, in 1963, we took up structures that were meant to do a specific job. Wazungu walikuja huku wakadiscover, na Mari mwenyewe alisema you can't discover a continent, a place where people already are. You discover something where no one knows, right? But they came over here, they discovered the Nile. We are told they discovered Mount Longonot. It's like no one had ever seen Mount Longonot before they came. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, we come back to leadership and professionalism, to the industry itself. We are in the entertainment industry, and we all know we should be borrowing from what is proven to work, right?
Yeah.
The government is a sure working system. I mean, look at it.
Okay. Wait, are we talking about the Kenyan government or just government?
Governance.
Okay.
We are reducing it for the industry and then comparing it to what is working, like the government is working.
Okay.
From the government, there's East Africa, there's UN, there's US, the likes. But now we are trying to encourage wasanii wenzetu ambao wanajaribu kujipuka ama ni kuchipuka. Which one is it? Kuchipuka.
No, wait. I think you've been listening to a lot of Jipuka. I think it's Chipuka.
Okay. Those who are trying to Chipuka. There's I think there's a way where people can actually monetize their money. Barry, you talk about monetizing your YouTube channel, you talk about monetizing your page, monetizing your website, monetizing your craft, monetizing your talent. All those things, you can't do them if you don't know the systems, right? You don't know what professionalism is. I think in episode 2, season 2, Juke was talking about allowing professionals to take part in the projects that you do. That way you encourage professionalism. For example, you're doing a song. How many professionals should be involved? I'm thinking there's a songwriter. If you're the songwriter, then you're the professional for the part. If you're the composer, you're for the part. You're the producer, you're for the part. The publisher, you're for the part. Now, unless you recognize all those different elements, it will be very difficult for you to account for each and every one of them, unless you know them. Now, maybe Mari can tell us what it takes to make a single all the way to distribution. Mari, please. Save Mandem.
Okay, I think maybe instead of giving an outline of the process, I think maybe I'll give a brief description of it. See, like, for example, if we're talking about doing music professionally, depending on the area you're in, you should understand how that particular area works. Because, for example, there's say, for example, contemporary music, and there's classical music. And you see, if let's say if you're releasing a single or a song, the the processes might be similar, but the dynamics will definitely differ depending on what you're doing. I think at one point, I think we discussed, for example, the importance of an artist, say, knowing what genre of music they do.
Yeah.
Because if there's this common lingo that I've had with artists, and it's really common, but I think it's either a misconception or a misunderstanding of how the industry works.
Yeah.
The issue of being when you ask an artist what genre of music they do, they say they do all genres.
It is superstar.
Yeah. No, it is, even for the biggest superstar, it is impossible to do all genres of music. So one needs to understand where they fit in. You could have a multi-genre. You could be a multi-genre artist.
Yeah.
Which is acceptable. For example, if I'm to give an example of myself, I know I'm a pop, R&B, and Afrofusion artist.
Yeah.
And you see, that doesn't mean that I can't do, say, reggae.
Yeah.
But acknowledging that reggae is not my strong suit is part of being a professional in the industry. And I think it works even for producers.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Shaman, I'm sure you've done all sorts of very different genres of music in terms of production.
True.
Yeah. But there are certain genres which you feel more comfortable in. Yeah, like it flows naturally with you. And I think understanding those kind of dynamics in the industry is what makes a professional, so to speak, right? We're trying to define professionalism. Especially in art, because, say, in the sciences, it's all about knowing how, let's say, for example, the mechanics. There's given formulas, so to speak.
Yeah.
But in the arts, it's not that they're not there, but they are probably less defined or less focused on.
Uh-huh.
And I think defining them and bringing them out would help a lot of artists appreciate their work or where they fit in the industry.
So to add to that, there was something Shaman said a couple of episodes ago. Actually, it was a scenario where you'd had, we have our local video makers, video producers. When the Maju guys come with the equipment, they are no longer like part of, you are now the video guy. Suddenly they are the ones who are only holding the what? Is it the microphone thingy? Yeah.
That was Mari who witnessed such evil actions.
I was only told. I had.
So that is to say, okay, professionalism also, we're not saying like professionalism is all knowing all, because even professionals disagree, It depends on like in the level of maturity in the organization, the disagreements that are there, harmony, who's humble, who's ready to learn something new, There's also the street smart and the book smart kind of professionalism. There are those guys who did not actually go to school to be professionals, but they are acknowledged and considered professionals. And those guys who went, they did the books, and they are obviously known as professionals. But both of these guys are professional in a way,
Yeah.
So goes even there was a movie. This guy calls Val Kilmer. This movie set was one
Sounds
of the
Russian.
most. It's like he used to do those Chuck Norris Pepeta movies in the 1990s.
Yeah.
So the issue was one of the worst sets ever. They had to go to another country. some guys on the set got diseases. Somebody
What?
like Val Kilmer did not want to be there. Sijui his wife had issues, and also like the other guy who was going to be the bad guy, even him, he had issues with Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
They had issues with the director. You see, these are all professionals, but they are all converging into working on a project that may not come out properly.
Bro, what the fuck is Val Kilmer?
Val Kilmer, he's like akina Chuck Norris. Ukiangalia like a lot of these
Or
action
like,
movies, utambia,
Yeah.
mse namkumbuka.
There's this other guy
yeah,
was
yeah.
called Boris. I don't know what. The guy was like some Asian dude who was huge, like he was muscular and stuff, and used to always play like the bad guy in
movies.
Yeah, in those Chuck Norris
like
kind of
Boloyang,
movies. Yeah, Boloyang, that's the one.
So explaining this set of, how professionals can also get it wrong. That was just what I was trying to expound. Like,
and
I'd have to have an understanding, real massive understanding on what is going on.
Yeah, and I think maybe also from the story you've told, I think I've picked up something which I think also is important to understand in the industry. Like in every workplace, there'll always be disagreements, there'll always be collision of people and characters, but professionalism is looking beyond that. And I think, let's say, for example, in the arts, and perhaps more specifically in music, there are a lot of collisions, and some of them are, say, for example, the ones you'll normally see in mass media will be, should I say, publicized arrangements.
And sometimes you can say there was a fight on a movie set just so you can get clout. Because this stuff ain't even coming out properly.
Guys, we need to do a little bit help save Bandem.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to give actual consultation for free.
Yeah.
Because people don't tend to take into consideration what goes into making a music video, for example. Because we're not saying that we know it all, joke, yo.
Yeah.
But you'll agree that the kind of input that goes into our local videos here is not the same as what should go, ideally. For example, how many artists pay their vixens the way they should?
Yeah.
Once they have paid the vixens, how many actually dress the vixens?
Yeah.
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 And after they've dressed the vixens, how many actually got stylists to dress the vixens?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many got stylists consult for the music video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than having a red camera. They say, maze lazima video to shoot na red. They go pay like, I don't know, 50,000 for the camera, and then everything else comes for free. My man, come on, man. What are your priorities? Yeah. And then director mwenyewe hajaitumia red. Ini yake ya kwanza anatafuta penye ISO iko, ajui penye iko. He doesn't know that for you to pull like a certain shot, it needs to be in certain settings. Hajui, he's learning on the job. Now, that itself does not really speak to professionalism. Professionalism is getting the professionals involved. Like, I want to be in space. Who do I talk to?
Yeah.
I need to talk to someone who can put me in space and he doesn't look fake.
Yeah.
I saw Shantao sometime back when Shantao came. They were doing green screen videos. They did some for Abbas, Chihuahua. Man, that shit never looked so fake to me. I would look at that shit and be like, the fuck? And I would go to school to learn that shit. To put people on weird space like that.
I think the issue with Shangtao is like their most expensive assets. They were not really sharing them out with the students. I wish there was an experience where a certain set of guys are selected, because I'm pretty sure guys in Shangtao, there are teachers who knew who are the guys who could really
like
pull
potential,
off,
who had the most potential,
guys who are interested in that green screen stuff. Because even in Shangtao at my time, there were guys who are obviously going to be producers right now. They're already producers. The guys who are going to be videographers right now, they're only videographers. They're already videographers. So the thing was, there were those facilities, like the green screen facilities, we never had access to them. And we were doing the same stuff that required everybody to go through, the whole videography, the whole process. So it's like, if Shangtao maybe had like, let's do a project, let's give every class a project. You guys do this, whoever feels like doing this type, do this. Put yourselves together, mujiunganishe, you find who you can work with for a project. Because the issue is, tunafanya exams ni kaa vitu za chuo, ati mnakaa kwa class, you write things. There were courses even were doing that were not even into doing. It was like, we would have used all those resources for at least Shangtao to use its students to produce projects. That's how at least Shangtao inajisaidia, and also the students wanajisaidia. Everything is like a growing process. Si vitu za kukaa kwa darasa answering sijui kufanya because even me, I remember the time when we were doing the exams, I was like, man, this shit is crap. We were doing sijui marketing and journalism. Some guys like, me, I wanted to do all that animation and 3D stuff. Tungepewa at least even a day we do something in the in the green screen room, because those guys had facilities, man. But nara, mi naanza kuchora vitu kwa back of the paper. Odijona ni enjoy. Naona mnachora ma Chuck Norris ni like, motherfucker, this is an art school.
Like if you're doing Chuck Norris, that is crazy. That's dope. Maybe to sort of like highlight, I think, where the problem is. You know, there's for example, in Kenya, there's the culture of, say, for example, let me just put it bluntly out there, cheating in school. You know, a lot of people go to school and pass their exams and get high grades for work they did not do. And those same people are expected to come out in the industry and perform their duties diligently, but if they did not process the information that they were being given in school, how are they expected to work in an environment that requires them to use that information? And
because the environment out there is different from sitting down and passing an exam.
And let's say, for example, maybe just to drift off a bit, for example, an area like medicine, I think partially one of the reasons why, say, Kenya would be behind in medicine as compared to the other countries, developed countries, would be the say, for example, I don't want to call it creativity, but say, for example, to come up with a new drug or medicine or for an ailment, or discover the cure for a certain ailment, you'd have to first be fully grounded in the knowledge that is already being used, for you to advance to the level where you can use that knowledge to deduce some other, should I say, working formula or medicine. Now, if someone does not already know, let's say, proper biology, because they skipped those classes and cheated in the exams to get their marks.
That's how murderers are created.
Yeah, and I'm not pointing any fingers or trying to put blame on individuals. I'm just trying to point. I'm pointing the issues, and I think that's what maybe needs resolving. And you see, for example, for the art industry, there's also that weakness, say, for example, schools not being able, they're not having enough should I say, information or structures to teach.
They are not letting you be creative, making something new. They are directing you through what is already safe for them, or what is already been published, or what has already been considered to. This is the way.
Let me perhaps give a more personal example. For example, I'm a singer and I'm a self-taught singer. I didn't go to any school to teach me how to learn how to sing. And there were schools that were teaching, but not in the kind of line that I'm singing. For example, you can there are schools like KU. I know they teach singing there and music.
Montessori.
There's quite a number, but you'd find they teach more in the classical fields. So if I was to go to that kind of school, I'd probably sing like those opera, singers. And in contemporary music, you cannot. That is not the kind of style you use in that singing. And for example, I know one school which teaches the sort of modern kind of singing called Sauti Academy, and which is a fairly new venture. And even there, the number of, should I say, teachers or the number of people who teach that kind of craft are limited. They mostly take up former students who only learned from, should I say, a limited number of individuals in the society who may or may not be the most authoritative. And I'm not trying to diss, but I'm just trying to bring out.
Preach, don't be afraid.
Trying to bring out the issue. And you see now, so for example, if the structure of the, should I say, educational system is not sufficient, does that mean that the industry stops because the educational structure has failed? I would say no. Because, for example, on a personal level, I had some basics from back in school when we were being taught, practicing. What was it called?
CU stuff.
And no, there's this occasional, like music fest which used to happen. MDD, yeah. And there was what was it called?
Music, dance, and drama.
The singing, like choir kind of singing. Remember that?
Set.
Yes. Set pieces. Yes. I had basics from that. But after I got out into the world, I had to self-teach.
Re-educate.
Yes. And
re-education.
Yeah. And for example, resources like YouTube, those are great resources for anyone looking to learn in various fields, and especially in the art forms.
Yes.
Like, for example, juke, verbal, juke or verbal. Yeah, it goes by many.
Any can do.
Any can do.
Carry on.
You like for example, in the... For those who did not see, Shaman just did an air mouth thingy. Okay, yeah. For example, like in animation, I'm sure a lot of what you've been able to achieve is more a matter of self-taught.
Actually, the software that actually uses is called Moho. It was originally called Smith Micro, but they were not teaching that in Shangtao. However, the software they were teaching in Shangtao was called Adobe Macromedia Flash. So Macromedia Flash is still a vector software just like Moho, but Moho makes things so simple. Sometimes I ask myself, I wish I knew we would have been taught Moho instead of Macromedia Flash, because they are the same things. They are the same things, vector softwares. So the thing is, in Shangtao, you learn 3D, you also learn 2D. But mostly if you're animating, you learn 2D. 3D is mostly like, designing products, containers, even though even right now they are better products. When I came out of Shangtao, I learned Moho from when it was still called Smith Micro. So with every change in level, with every new stuff, I learn more. And the thing is, there are people out there who are doing amazing stuff. Like me, the reason why I still use it is a Chilean animator. It's called Victor Paredes. So him, when I saw his stuff, I was just taken aback. I was like, I want to do exactly like this guy. And they're not 3D. You know, some people think 3D is better than 2D because, 3D looks better. You see everything, like you see even pieces of hair, you see textures of skin,
but
very nice visuals.
I've had people, graphic designers say implementing some 2D elements is even harder than some 3D which we see.
Yeah, because if you incorporate things like physics, the way things move, the way like a ball can bounce, a 3D animator could just make a ball just slap itself on the ground. But you'd actually have to make it go into the ground, go up again, bounce again, and as it bounces, it becomes slower. So it's called more like art style of animation. You can be a 2D animator or a 3D animator, but also learning the way things move, the physics is very crucial. And I know those are things they don't show in Shangtao, but I'm guessing Shangtao is a place like, we've shown you this, when you go out, you're meant to learn something more.
And I think the issue cuts across, for example, Shaman, in terms of production. You wanted to bring this up, now it's come to you. Like I'm sure you didn't go to any school to teach you production basics and whatnot.
No, whatsoever.
You had to learn on the go, and you mostly self-taught. And maybe perhaps because I know a bit of what you've been like your journey, maybe I can highlight some elements of how you learned production. You learned a lot of the production by interacting with other professionals in the field and picking up from their skills and self-educating in that manner. Maybe you can highlight some of your views or what you've learned by taking that route or that process.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Now, first of all, today's topic being professionalism. I was really keen that we try and get people away from the idea that goodwill will help out push the product. You see, like I think ati umechiki video ya Akon ile I'm so lonely. It's very simple. Ni Akon tu kwa ndai, anaenda kwa theater, and then that's it. Bro. As in, the elements that came together to put that thing the way it was, it had to be like several professionals. We were talking with Juke earlier when he's talking about his latest project. Is it Mountain City? Mountain City. And we were going over it and what he's planning to do with it, what he's doing with it, what he's expected to do with it. And some of the peculiar things I picked up and pointed him towards was the need for consultations. Like you want to talk about social conditioning, because if the program is for children, then you need to consult a child professional, so they can give you insights on the child. It's what Google does.
By the way, Mountain City is based on the Montessori syllabus.
Okay, wait. You said child professional. Could you clarify what you mean by
not a professional pedophilia? No. We're talking about people who interact with children, probably psychiatrists. To tell you what excites the kids. And remember, this at this point is specifically towards a geared agenda. And that is why it's very dangerous when someone has a bad idea and has the knowledge, because knowledge is power. You see, and if someone wants to do you harm and is armed with the knowledge and you're not, then you stand no chance whatsoever. Which is exactly what has happened to us as Africans. Anyway, that's a story for another day. So let's stick to the kids. So you find that Juke, I was telling Juke, he needs to consult people who have interacted with children in the same capacity, because they have the data, right? What you decide to do with the data is up to you. For example, you find that kids like to hear stories in regards to example. What would a kid be most likely susceptible to believe? Is it foods, cars, technology? Like what is the percentages? What are you working with? When you say A for apples, or A for Adam, or A for atoms, or A for A can be for so many things. Now I was pushing Juke towards being constructive historically, so you impact knowledge on the kids, because I believe one of the most hidden things, like the secrets for life, is when you're so distracted with chasing money, for example. Because it's monetized on TV, like you see, everything is all about the money. Enda shule, upate job, ufanye nini? Upate pesa. But if now you start talking about A for apple and what the apple does, for example, like why you should have an apple a day, or why a doctor says, just come up with something funny and the kids pick it up. And because you've involved even the person singing is the musani, a ability ya kuimba. It's not something totally boring. And it's like being put next to KICC umeishikilia hivi. Those photos. Again, Washira shed some light on it. From photography.
And funny thing, you mentioned like involving professionals in the field. Sorry to say this, but I've a lot of the adverts I've been watching on TV that involve any kind of singing are, let me just put it bluntly, horrible.
Who even watches TV?
Okay, I think a lot of them I come across.
But a lot of these adverts are online, I think.
Yeah, some of them are online, but I think, for example, in comparison to what you see, for the online adverts, I think I've seen a lot more going into the online adverts than the TV adverts. And if we're being frank, which one, from your experiences, which ones pay more?
Adverts at what?
For like if you were to do a TV advert and an advert for a YouTube channel.
TV, bro.
Yeah.
TV.
And you see, so meaning they are investing more in the craft. But you find you find an advert. Should I point one out?
Yeah, sure.
There's this advert for there's this advert for, I think it's either it's heartburn. Na it should be heartburn. I have no issue with the advert, but the singing, oh my goodness, it makes me cringe every time I hear it. And you see, if that is what you're using to market, you've already derailed your marketing strategy by not involving a professional. And I think that's part of the issue we're facing. You see, people don't...
They are taking a lot of shortcuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it may not harm the product now, but within time, the methods are just not going to work. Suppose if another competitor comes to compete with that heartburn thing, and this competitor, especially if it's a competitor kutoka maju, let's say a foreigner, he's like, I'm going to get a professional in this place.
Even, I think maybe you've even gone... steps ahead. But just for example, picture this: you're advertising something, and me who listens to it has already a subconscious disliking for it. How do you think that would impact the product?
Yes.
Like, you'd find some of these things people don't understand, but I think if you're looking at it from a marketing perspective, getting to the subconscious is the most effective way of making people to subscribe to a product.
Rasta,
look
Rasta,
at yeah.
Rasta, I don't want us to be partisan.
Yeah.
Attack on this consciousness of humanity, because you're talking about the subconscious, which is true. It's true. But you see, again, there's, like I said, if someone has knowledge, and is intent on getting the worst for you, and you have no knowledge, you stand no chance. For example, toothpaste. Adverts for toothpaste, umesema Actol, heartburn, I think it's the
no, that's a.
Is it
I don't think it's
I think
is
professional.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's a newer brand. I don't even know the name.
For Kina Smith.
Like,
what is that funny pharmaceutical company? It's a Maju pharmaceutical company.
Oh yes, something Smith.
Yeah, but that one for heartburn, I think it's local.
Yeah.
Yenye kona sijui red flames somewhere. Is it red flames in a kama?
I think they use a DJ. I think I picked it up because it was using musical components, but not implementing the proper musical. Like there's a DJ mixing, and they're like,
she's the DJ.
Yeah, she's the DJ,
mixing,
and
she's mixing, and then a place and she's got a heartburn, and then she's not really feeling herself. The music goes bad, and then she takes I think it's bro. She takes
I don't think
medication.
so.
If it could be then it's a subsidiary.
Yeah.
No. You see, again, okay, let me give another example of an advert that is more inclined to what Mary is talking about, and taking advantage of people and people not knowing that it's taking advantage of them.
Yeah.
I'll start from a far off distance kidogo. So we arrive at the position.
Okay.
Juzi nilikuwa Carrefour. Ni Carrefour ama Carrefour?
Carrefour.
This attendant comes and says, habari yako? Nikamwambia poa sana. Tunafanya survey, tunataka kujua penye unaishi, how often you come here. I was like, whoa. What?
Yo, sounding like the cops.
This is a survey? You can legally do this shit?
What they would have done is maybe given you a gift, soften you up a little bit, right?
Or even the lingo they would have used. Like, hey.
Usually it's a gift.
They have a cardboard with a map of Nyayo and the surroundings and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I was like, my man, why are you determining it's bad enough it's online? The fuck you? You're talking to me now? You're asking me that shit? Is this legal? Who sent you? Who sent you? Ati ni survey tu tunafanya boss, siko ubaya.
Oh man.
So
yeah. The choice of words,
Bana. Eti how often you come here? Tutakujua. What?
They actually just want information for free, huh?
Yeah. And you see, what they tell you is it's so that we can help you.
Kwani ni wase wa Carrefour ama?
Yeah, ni stuff wa Carrefour kwa ndani. It's inside
Carrefour. I tell you, the French and the marketing is very aggressive.
Yeah, and
have you seen the food hub in France? This is what I noticed, that even the marketing ya say fruits and vegetables hapa Kenya, agriculture capacity, it is very low compared to what the food hub there is doing. Imagine a place the size of Monaco City, but it's warehouses where food comes from all over the world, but it's distributed in I don't know, you have 50 trailers coming every 20 minutes. And this is a huge place the size of a city. 50 warehouses. I don't know how many hectares. That's happened. These guys have fish, they have vegetables, they have fruits. Things have been moved here, things have been moved left, right, electronic. I was like, so this is why huku kunaenda hivi. People are moving fast in other places, in other countries, and us, we do not know why we can barely even try to mobilize our agricultural, industry. Continue with the Carrefour thing, man.
Yeah. You've spoken about that, and I feel a bit the need to digress and speak about the kind of promotion and sponsorship about the push
Yeah.
One of the marketing strategies that those guys assume.
Because actually this one was a zoning thing. Nika, the EPZ thing you're saying, this is zoned by the government.
Yeah.
So the government tells guys, this is the food hub. Anything food inaenda hapa, alafu inaenda to other countries.
That is exactly what needs to happen here.
Yeah.
But sasa unapata our stupid politicians.
Yeah.
Let's not censor that part. For example, we have a drunk guy who's not educated. Okay, the system is bad, but it gets you prepared for what it is to come, right? It gets you prepared to do the job, to protect the system. And you can't fight the system if you're not in the system. So you need to be at least educated to be able to read what you get, and then you can help save mandem,
Yeah.
But this guy is not educated. He's in a position of power. He's surrounded by imbeciles.
Yeah.
And he has to make a decision. Imagine he is representing you on a global platform, on a global scale.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to negotiate trade terms and negotiate trade deals and negotiate development plans.
Yeah.
What plans will this motherfucker talk about?
Yeah.
Because I think even now, if it's any plans, it's to benefit the family, and we think we know who we are talking about, because their family businesses are doing very well. They are buying things, they have farms.
Yeah. And personally, I think in terms of speaking about how the system works.
By the way, your Karafu story ya kumaliza.
Oh yeah.
So anyway,
yeah.
As a Karafu. So when I get out, I see a shell signpost, right?
Yeah.
I took a photo of it. I think what I'll do, I'll share on the comments below. I'll post it as part of the comments. I'll post it on my social media handles so guys can see. So they were talking about, maybe we can even look at it now. They were talking about what the fuel does, right?
Yeah.
And they're making references to performance. You know, when they do things like this V-Power.
Oh yeah.
So, and let me read it. Let me quote it verbatim. Shell V-Power, our best fuel ever, with 3 times more cleaning and new friction, reducing nodule.
It's like the liquid has a nodule.
So then they say, compared to previous Shell V-Power fuel formulations, actual effects and benefits may vary according to vehicle type, vehicle condition, and driving style. No guarantees provided.
That's in small letters, like.
Yeah, it's in the small font. It's definitely
Yeah.
Then I asked this pump guy, yo bro, if there's no guarantee, then what are we doing? What am I getting? Your fuel could be shit, because this thing is like at almost 10 shillings more than the normal price, right? And that's the marketing like gimmick. Like, performance may vary compared from vehicle type and driving. The fuck you talking about, man? When I buy the fuel, I want it to combust regardless of what I do, okay?
Regardless of the condition of the car.
Yeah. Because the condition of the car, by the fact that it's on the road, it means it can combust the fuel.
Yeah.
Yo, don't tell me about the air intake. Don't tell me about anything else. You need to give me a guarantee. What are you guaranteeing? What am I getting? Like, what's the guarantee? Why am I buying your fuel?
Yeah, and I think I've picked up a sort of, say, bigger issue from what you've pointed out, and I think it's on the you see the kind of system we have right now, and I'm not talking about just Kenya, but the current global system or economic system.
Look at even Rwanda.
Marijuana
is going to be legalized. As they are going to use it as their export. To bring in money.
That is clever, bro. That is really clever. Big up to Mugabe, Kagame.
Big up.
Rest in peace, Kagame. Rest in peace, Mugabe. Yo. Rest in peace, Mugabe. Big up
To Paul
Kagame.
Kagame.
Yeah, just by the way, I had, like, if you say that kind of thing and you're in Rwanda, hey, dude.
At rest in peace, Kagame.
At you say rest in peace. You said who? No.
Kagame.
Hey, dude, you disappear. That's what I heard. I'm not saying it's factual information, but I just
What is happening in Congo?
yo. So I was pointing out. I think the issues I personally see with the current world system is a lot of things are promoted not because of the efficiency, but because of agendas. And you see, for example, picking out that car example, you see a certain type of fuel being propagated because not because the agendas, because the efficiency of the fuel is on point or has been properly researched, but because it is pushing certain agendas. And you see, that kind of system can only run for so long. And for example, I was pointing out at one point I was pointing out if you look at the kind of technology that has come up today. For example, a simple example of the mobile phone. Just a random question: who invented the mobile phone?
I think it's a man called something Bell.
No, that is the telephone. But I'm talking about the device everyone has on their
It's a black
phones
man.
right
It's
now.
a black man.
Now, shouldn't
I
that
hear
be?
the original Ford Bronco was designed by a black man.
Yeah,
You should see the modern version. Wow.
now shouldn't that be? Yeah. Just a random thought out there. Shouldn't that be one of the richest men in the world, or at least their family line be one of the richest in the world?
Unless he patented it, because the mobile phone has changed a lot. It started from the kabambe, the big block thing, into the small thing, so these things change. So the patents and the designs, man.
Yeah, let me clarify that where my point is coming from. For example, the Bell family, from the I think it was called Graham Bell, up to now, they are earning from the investments or the telephone technology that he put up. And this other guy is not even taught in school, mind you. Now, if you look at it you can look at it from different perspectives, but the issue I'm trying to point out is the technology and advancement is not being propelled because of its efficacy, or should I say efficiency. It's being propelled because of agendas. And if a system is not efficient, how do you expect it to run, say, the world for whatever length or period? And
Juku neighbor minutes. There's no way 1 hour is done. There's no way.
He's stealing time.
He's stealing time.
I'd started this clock 10 minutes after our introduction.
No, bro.
I think partially what I was trying to bring out is there's so many, should I say, I don't know whether to call them loopholes or in the way the systems work at the moment. And I think, for example, a lot of the agendas being pushed are not for the benefit of humanity. We were talking about, we mentioned at one point the stories of families, and I think this one thing probably we should have a better discussion on. I think one of the most fought institutions in the world right now is the family institution. and maybe at the risk of being marked for pushing radical agendas. You've seen the push of LGBTQ rights. Have you ever thought of the implication of if it becomes a world accepted practice? What will it do to the future of humanity?
And societies are different, I don't think.
It is basically encouraging moving away from the natural procreation process.
Even family base is not a natural procreation.
Yeah, it takes, for example, a man and a woman.
It's an institution.
Yeah, it's an institution, and which encourages what? The repopulation, or the of our species.
Joke. When you make that kind of comment, I feel like you're doing a lot of disservice to, given the minutes are almost done, and to come back to that. And I'm thinking, because
maybe that's a talk for another time. Because
I think we should deliberately make it the next podcast focus, because the family unit as we know it is what is coming to an end in the next phase of evolution. For example, like after Corona, the family will not be the same. We need to agree. Because in my line of practice, words used specifically mean very different things. The WHO could have easily said, keep physical distance. No, they said social distance. That means you can't even talk to your mother, you can't talk to your sister, you can't talk to your friend. It's social distance.
Which is an interesting thing. I think looking at, we were discussing the systems of governance, looking at the agendas that capitalism pushes. Individualism is probably at the forefront. And I would ask if, for example, if we did not need each other to progress, I think there's probably enough, atoms for each, and enough planets for each individual to live in their own planet. But the way nature, worked, was putting us in one big environment together. And I think that is the natural way of things working. So if individualism is the main agenda of capitalism, or one of the main agendas, then it's probably anti-human? Anti-humanity. Maybe human and humanity mean different things.
Your time is up.
And there you have it. I think we have a lot in store for the next podcast. That's why we kind of slightly extended. We have a lot to talk about. There you have it, the Gatekeepers Musically Speaking Podcast, GKMSP Season 2, Episode 8. Yeah. Check out the soundbite from Shaman.
Woohoo!
It's gonna be dope as hell. Subscribe, clicking at the bell for notifications.